What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another What to Buy on eBay video. This video is focused solely on the vintage collection at the end of the video, and then we've got vintage Kenner stuff at the beginning of the video. So lots of different stuff, some buy it nows as well as some auctions. As always, in the video description, I will have links available for those of you that want to check these items out, and they all end after the making of this video and after it goes live. So hopefully you guys can find some good deals here. So let me see what I picked out for this video. It's not a lot of stuff, but the options are pretty good. Okay, first off, we've got a UKG 85 no COO Chewbacca. So these would appear on like Palatoys or Tri-Logos. Little tougher to find the no COO, and it's at auction. It's only at $32 US right now. It ends Saturday at 1:50 Eastern time. And I think the same seller also has another one, a Hong Kong COO. Both of them are 85s from UKG, new case style. They look really nice. I bet they go cheap. I bet they go cheap. This one, unfortunately, is in the global shipping program. So for those of us in the US, it's like 45 bucks. But for those of you watching in Europe or in the UK, I bet you can probably get a pretty good deal on these two. So these are located in the UK, and this one's the no COO. But as I said, you can go to the seller's other items and check out the Hong Kong variant that is also UKG 85. All right, here's a big one. This seller, Iron Giant, I've never bought from this seller before, but it is a legit seller. Always has really nice stuff, and this one certainly fits the bill. This is an AFA 80 plus vinyl cape Jawa, new case style. It was just graded May 22nd of this year. So 80 plus grade, there you go. I sold off my 85. And you want to talk about selling regrets. I kind of want to get one now. Maybe next year. Maybe next year I can pick one up. But this one ends Friday at 6:15 Central Time, so 7:15 Eastern Time. My videos usually air around 5 o'clock Eastern, so it's going to be very quickly after this video goes live when this one's ending. Kind of a weird end time. Maybe you get lucky on it, but it's at $23.25 right now. And I'm guessing it's probably going to sell in that $2,700, $2,800 range. That's my guess. I think an AFA 85 new case style probably goes in that $3,500 range. So somewhere south of that, I think it'll be sub $3,000. That's my guess. But good luck if you want one. That's a really nice looking example. Next up, I had to show you this one. This is that seller down in Mexico that always has nice Lily Letties. And I might even have one or two that are also at auction. But this seller has some pretty cool items. Now, this one's unfortunate. This one was a PBP Red Armor Forlom archival case AFA 85. And unfortunately, in shipping, the blister fell off of the package. This is why you get the blister support for these very rare mint-on cards. I don't know why. You know, if you submitted this yourself to AFA, I don't know why you would not get blister support on something like this, because the PBP mint-on cards are known to have very weak, fragile blisters, and unfortunately it did pop off. So it's at auction. It's only at 38 bucks right now, but this is an AFA 85 quality Red Armor Forlom, and those, you know, loose and ungraded can go for 300 to 350 pretty easily. So you know, I wouldn't bid too much over that, because I think this is a really good candidate to buy it at a reasonable price, like 350 to 400. Maybe you go to 450 just because it includes the blister and the card back. It'll probably end up selling for more than that, but that's what I think it's worth, is like maybe 450, because it has the Spanish blister and the card back, and obviously the figure. So I think this is a really good candidate to send to collector archive services for their preserved grading. And what they do with those is they add, obviously, the blister support, and they just loose grade the figure by itself and display it like it would be a mint-on card. They do that with like ink touch-ups or, you know, cracked blisters. You can add blister support and just grade the figure. So it's a nice feature that only CAS and UKG offer, to my knowledge. I don't think AFA offers that. But this is a really good candidate for that. And it costs about, I don't know, 80, 100 bucks or so. So, you know, bid accordingly, you know, factor in the recasing costs with CAS, but this is a really good candidate for that, and it would be an awesome item to have. You see that a lot with Boba Fett's, you know, like nice Taiwan Boba Fett's displayed with the card back. This is a good candidate. It's a Spanish PBP Red Armor Forlom with the entire package, right? It's got the blister as well as the card back. It just unfortunately fell apart. So, but don't go crazy on it. But I think $450, maybe $500 is probably what it's worth. And if it goes for more than that, then so be it. But that's a pretty awesome item. Next up, Brian's Toys has an AFA 80 clear blister, I think. Clear blister squid head 77 back A. 80, 85, 80 are the sub scores. It seems like squid heads don't go for that much money, even in clear blister. So you might be able to sneak in on this one and get it for like $150 or so. That's maybe 175, somewhere in that ballpark. I think it'll go for sub 200 because it's a punched example, but it is a clear blister and it's a nice looking example. So it's funny because I think I've told you this before. I've got like 3 or 4 different squid head mint on cards, but none of them are U.S. Kenners. I've got like the Takara Japanese release, I've got the Lily Letty made in Mexico, and then I've got the Tri logo, but I don't have any of the U.S. Kenner cards. And if I was in a buying mood, I'd probably grab this because I think it's going to go cheap. But anyway, it's at $76. That ends Saturday at 6:13 Eastern time in the evening. Brian's Toys also has this 12-back A Princess Leia AFA 80. Wow. Talk about a stunner here. 80, 80, 75 for the figure score. And you can see why it's got the 75 for the figure score. A lot of pink going on the legs and the arms. So it has discolored over time. I get that question a lot. Can they discolor inside the blister? Here you go. This is a perfect example of why it got a 75 grade for the figure score. Because even inside these 12-back blisters, the white figures especially, like the Stormtrooper, Princess Leia, Hoth Stormtroopers, they can degrade. And that's what this one did. So still, it's a 12-back A, and it's a really nice one. So it's already at $585. I bet it goes for quite a bit of money. I don't know what it, sometimes when the sub scores are 75s, it keeps the really big money away. The really picky collectors want all 80s or 85s or 90s on the sub scores. So that might keep the price down just a smidge. It's still going to be very expensive. Mark my words on that one. But it also is punched, and it also has a price sticker. 2 of the big factors that drive 12-back prices. The really big high-end collectors, they want them all unpunched, and they want no price stickers. So maybe you get lucky between the 75 grade, the fact that it's got a price sticker, and the fact that it's punched. Maybe you get it for below market. I couldn't tell you what the market is on it. Maybe $1,500. Somewhere in that ballpark. Watch it go for like $2,500 because it is a 12-back A. Let's be real here. So maybe you get lucky, but probably not. That's how I look at it. Next up, Jeff's Collectible Empire is back with some stunners, and one of them is this one, AFA 80 20-back G Death Squad Commander. It does have a price sticker, but it is unpunched. And the sub score is 80, 80, 85. So pretty nice example. It feels like the 20-back G for the Death Squad Commander sits around. At an auction, I think the last one I saw sold at like $760 or $780. It was very cheap. It's a very common 20-back, the Death Squad Commander. It comes up pretty regularly on eBay. So don't go crazy on this one either, but $750-ish is probably about what it's worth. Pretty nice example, though, for the Death Squad Commander. He also has a Palatoy Tri-Logo Lando Skiff Guard disguise, and this one is punched. And it's only an AFA 75 plus. I mean, only. It's still a pretty nice item, right? Card got a 75, blister 75, figure 85. So if you're looking for a Lando Skiff Guard on the Palatoy card back, these Palatoys, man, they're tough to get 80s or 85s on just because of those blisters. But I think it's appropriately graded, though. It's probably about right. That's only at $92. I bet that one goes for cheap, too. Like it might go sub $200. Maybe not, but that's another option for those of you out there looking. And then also Jeff's Collectible Empire has an AFA 80 rectangular extension sticker on the back, 20-back H. So there's the 20-back H, like with the Death Squad Commander, and then there's the 20-back H with this offer extension sticker, like this red sticker that you see right here. So they just extended the offer on the mail-away Boba Fett. And it's labeled as such on the AFA label. 80, 85, 85 are the sub-scores. Pretty nice looking example. Again, it's not perfect. It's got some scratches, things like that to the card back, but light edge wear to it. But that's at $390. Again, I think that one stays sub $1,000, but maybe not. I don't know how common it is for this extension sticker or if that makes a big deal to certain people. But I don't think it's going to be terribly expensive. So at least relative to some of the other 20 backs that we see, just given the fact that it's punched and it's an 80 grade. So maybe you get lucky there. And then this is a nice one. This was a yellowed 85 Power of the Force Lando General. This is an unpunched example. Very, very nice. The yellowing on this one's very minor. You got yellowing to the inner tray, but the outer blister looks really nice. I mean, that looks almost clear to me. And I get it. I'm sure that AFA labeled it as yellowed because of the inner tray, but the outer blister is super, super crispy clear. So looks nice. And it's straight 85s for the subscore. So, again, a true clear blister, clear inner tray, you're going to be paying a lot of money for a Lando Calrissian unpunched on the Power of the Force card. It's just rare as hen's teeth, as the Brits like to say, to get a true clear blister. So this is like your next best option, right? It's just the yellowed inner tray. The outer blister looks, to me anyway, to still be clear, and it's straight 85s, unpunched. No price sticker. So I think it'll go for a lot of money, but, where it ends up, I don't know. But that one ends Sunday evening as well. All of those end on Sunday evening, as is usual for Jeff's auctions. So just go check out Jeff's Collectible Empire. Again, the links will be in the description, but I bought from Jeff many times, been very happy. I bought from him on Facebook as well as on eBay, so you can't go wrong with Jeff. Really good items. He also has this transition card, 48 back free Neon Numb offer, or Neon Numb, unpunched, but it's graded CAS 80. 80, 85, 80 are the sub scores, and it's yellowed, slightly yellowed blister. I think this one's a little bit overgraded. That's a pretty pronounced crease in the upper right-hand corner. To me, the card score should be a 75. I'm okay with them giving it an overall 80, but there's no way that card scores an 80, in my opinion. Just my personal opinion on it. But, it's a transition card, meaning that none of the Return of the Jedi characters appeared on this card back. It's only Empire Strikes Back or Star Wars characters that appeared on these 48 back. So they're very desirable card backs, even yellowed. It's a pretty nice looking item. It's at $135.50. I bet it goes for sub $350. It might even go less than. It might even go sub $250. Who knows? It just depends on who's looking and and how much the yellowing bothers them. But that's a pretty nice looking item, though. Here's the big one. And it's lower grade. It's only an AFA 70+, but it's the dark brown hair Luke Farm Boy. We talk about this one all the time, that this is probably, other than the orange-haired Luke, this is probably your next most desirable hair variant. It's the dark brown. It's like a chocolate brown. Very tough to find these. They only appeared on some Empire Strikes Back cards, as well as that 48-back transition card, Return of the Jedi card back. According to that one time, he's got one in his collection. So it's a very desirable figure because for only a limited time did they make him with that really dark brown hair. I've got a loose graded one, but that's, it's a clear blister, but it's only a 70+. It's going to go for a lot of money. Okay. It's already at $630. It ends Sunday at 8:01 Eastern time, but that's a very, very desirable variant to get, is that dark brown hair Luke Farm Boy on the ESB card back. Next up, I've got a Buy It Now from Cashel Retro Trader, which we talk about a lot. Now, an AFA 85 Yak Face just sold from CIB, and it sold for, I'm going on memory, but around $780. That was last weekend. And this one is a UKG 85, new case style, and it's listed for $661. Now, I've seen them recently, loose and ungraded, sell for this price in the U.S., It's a fact. I mean, I've seen several examples, which is crazy to me, given that you can get a UKG 85 for the same price. I just looked it up. I mean, there are multiple examples of loose, ungraded Yak Faces going for $650 to $700. So if you're going to spend that much money, get one graded. If you don't want to spend the money on an AFA 85, then get a CAS or a UKG 85. They tend to command a slight discount. And I think he's got it priced dead on the money. There's 13 watchers on it. And it hasn't sold yet, but, maybe you watch it, it makes you an offer, or, or even just buy it at this price. I think it's a very fair price where he has it listed, and it's a beautiful example. Next up, he also has this molded face Snap Cape Taiwan Luke. That's another very expensive variant that is, this one's very reasonably priced. It's at 285 pounds, which is $360 US. There's 11 watchers on this one. And, this is another case where if it's an AFA 85 molded face Luke, probably talking $450 to $500. Well, this one's at $359, and it's a UKG 85, and it looks every bit of an 85 to me. It looks very, very sharp, and I would have no trouble having this one in my collection at that price. I think that's a very fair price. Next up, we're going to finish things off with some vintage collection, as I promised. It's hard to tell how clean this card is. I think it's very clean, though. He gives a bunch of different angles with different lighting, and this is the VC98 Grand Moff Tarkin. The only negative is it does have a price sticker on the back, on the UPC on the back, but so what? You know, it's a very, very clean card. It presents great from the front. The sticker does not affect grading at all if you decide to grade this, which some of you do grade the vintage collection. I think it would grade an 85 plus or a 90. It's got one little ding right up here by the ages 4 and up. It's very minute, though. It's very minor. So I think it would get an 85 plus. And it's listed for $95, plus it's make an offer. I think that that's worth every penny. I'd pay that, or, you know, close to it. I found some auctions that have sold for that price, so I don't have any problem showing you this one. I think it's a very fair listing price. This seller has a number of different Case Fresh TVC 1.0 that he's taken out of the case and he's slapped into a star case. VC24 Woof. This is an unpunched, beautiful example. It's at $70 plus $8 shipping. And he also has the FIX Search, which is VC49. He has 2 of these, and there are 2 watchers on this one, including myself. I thought that was a pretty good deal, though. But they're Case Fresh, and he's got 2 of those at $70. Again, I've verified these prices are right in line with where these are selling. And then he also had, this is probably the best one. This is the Commander Gree unpunched, offerless, and it looks awfully nice. It looks very, very nice. VC43, and it's listed for $116. There's 5 watchers on this one. You can also make an offer on all of his listings. So to me, that's the best one. I like that one the best. He might have one more here. Now, this is a different seller. So for that seller, you go check out his other items, but the Commander Gree is the best one, in my opinion, for $116. That's a price I pay all day long. And then finally, I've had several of you ask about the Sand Trooper with dirty paint apps. Here you go, an unpunched example, VC112. It's listed for $140. I think it's a little high. It's a smidge high, but not too far off. I mean, I found a couple of sales that were higher than this and several that were below this price, but it's not far from the list price. I mean, from the fair market value price. So, and it looks super clean in the photos. So I had a bunch of you that were asking about the Sand Trooper with the dirty paint apps, and they wanted it unpunched. There you go, VC112, the dirty paint app Sand Trooper. And I've seen these graded in high grade go for over $300 even recently. So I think this is a pretty close to fair market value. It might be like $10 or $20 high, but it's probably not that far off. So anyway, that's all I really had for you. I hope you found something that you want to buy. Happy hunting out there. All of the links are in the video description. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.